There's no limits. A great opportunity to demonstrate that there is always a privileged spot for the legendary and the humble. For those who know no bounds. For those whose goal is the greatest conquest. The 2025 Copa Sudamericana. Exclusively on BN Sports. BN Sports, the home of African football, where dreams begin to come true. An entire continent united by the magic of the King of Sports. And in 2025, we remain firmly alongside the major tournaments. The CAF Champions League, where giants prove their dominance. The CAF Confederations Cup, where the humble become heroes. The 2026 World Cup qualifiers. The 2025 Africa Cup of Nations. Morocco will host the 24 leading nations, including Cameroon, Algeria, Senegal, Egypt, Ivory Coast, Nigeria, South Africa, among others. We will be there to bring you the best of each competition on BN Sports, the home of African football.
Lights going down and the players away to take their place on the pitch for the final warm-up. Lights going down and the players away to take their place on the pitch. Remember, of course, in this FIFA date, a lot of qualifiers throughout the world in our continent. Remember, of course, CONCACAF qualifiers drama in Group A, Suriname and Guatemala. Guatemala win it 75 with a lone goal, and then at 90 plus 49 sub 1-0. Guatemala. Good result for Guatemala, of course, would have loved to have kept the win. El Salvador and Panama in that Group A will be playing in about an hour's time. A very difficult game. Panama looks like the surefire winner of the group. And now, might not make it to the World Cup. Trinidad and Tobago beating Bermuda 3-0. Curaçao and Jamaica. Curaçao leading at home 1-0 at halftime versus Jamaica. Long day of qualifiers in UEFA with some regular scores, some surprises. Germany beating Luxembourg 4-0 and Northern Ireland, or the north of Ireland as some will say, beating Slovakia 2-0. In Group A. Group B, Kosovo and Slovenia 0-0. Switzerland away beating Sweden 2-0. France with a Kylian Mbappe injury, unfortunately, beating Azerbaijan 3-0. The Ukraine away at Iceland, beating them 5-3. 8 goals in a score for Kazakhstan, beating Liechtenstein 4-0 at home. And then in the biggest surprising in the qualifiers in all over the world, Belgium joined to North Macedonia 0-0. What is that? That is the debut of the new football for the World Cup. The Trionda will be used in today's game, the official match ball for the FIFA World Cup 26. Every team will get to try it and see how it goes. Tori Penso, you saw our referee for today's game with Brooke Mayo, Catherine Nesbitt, and Marcos de Oliveira as the fourth official as Lautaro Martinez walks out. There are black armbands in the Argentina team, unfortunately. The passing of former player, former coach, and beloved figure around the world in soccer, Miguel Angel Russo. He's passing this week. We will observe today a minute of silence before the start of the game. There were even doubts as to whether in our game today the captain of Boca Juniors, Leandro Paredes, would stay with the national team. He is playing for his life in the World Cup. He doesn't have a sure place. Decided to stay here and I'll go back to the Miguel Angel Russo's funeral. He's trying to earn his place, and of course we know Russo would like him to play more than anything. As we see captain for today's game, Cristian Romero, to the play. We'll go to the national anthems. First of all, the national anthem of Venezuela with Rafael El Pollo Brito. Arriba Venezuela, the national anthem of Venezuela to get us started here in Miami. And to sing the national anthem for Argentina, Solange Merdinian.
Lionel Messi in the rafters. He will not be available for today's game. Apparently, he will be playing with Inter Miami tomorrow here in the city versus the Atlanta United squad, and will go back to play in his home stadium the Puerto Rico game on Tuesday. But he is not available today. Also not available today, Franco Mastantuono, injured. Will not be playing today. Probably will not be playing on Tuesday. Real Madrid also with another big injury. Kylian Mbappe played way too many minutes for an Azerbaijan game. Came out injured at minute 80-something. Florent Thauvin taking his place in there. Florent Thauvin scoring the end result 3-0 goal for France. We're saying black armbands. So we'll see, we have a minute of silence for player and manager Miguel Angel Russo. Unfortunately passed away a couple of days ago at age 69. His wake being held at La Bombonera. It was great to see fans from other teams. Some River Plate jerseys, of course, Estudiantes jerseys. This being Miguel Angel Russo. And it's an unfortunate passing that's bringing the world of Argentine football together. No rivalries in this unfortunate moment. Coin toss between captains, Cáceres Jr. and Romero. So Argentina wins. So referee reminding them, number one, only captains can talk to her. Number two, the 8-second rule is in effect for goalkeepers. If they hold the ball for 8 seconds, the opposing team will get a corner kick. The rule that's been implemented in most of the world starting this season has been implemented by Conmebol in Libertadores and Sudamericana, not in the qualifying process, since the month of February, when the road to Copa Libertadores started in South America. So if you followed us at Bein Sports, you know the rule well, as it's been implemented since the early part of this season, the early part of this calendar year's teams at half pitch for a moment of silence in memory of former player and manager Miguel Angel Russo. Te quiero, Miguel. Fuerza Russo. I love you, Miguel, from the stands. And that had to be from a Boca or Estudiantes fan. Oh, no one has an ill word to say about Miguel Angel Russo. And he will be sorely missed. What an unfortunate passing. A man who fought hard and strong against cancer since 2017. Unfortunately passing this weekend. Good to see not only Argentina, but the whole game honoring his memory this week. Everything ready for this, the first half of football. And away we go with the classic Albiceleste jersey, Argentina. Playing from right to left on your screen, Venezuela in their classic Vino Tinto Burgundy. Beautiful jersey, one of the most beautiful in the world if you ask me. Playing from left to right on your pitch. My name, Rodrigo Del Campo. Thank you for joining us here today. Thank you for joining us here today. And this friendly between Argentina and Venezuela. Rodrigo Del Campo with you here on Bein Sports. The touch to the right, and there's going to be a throw-in for Venezuela. Thrown by Venezuela. Once again, the starting lineup for Venezuela with Contreras in goal, Aramburu, Ferraresi, Quintero, Milani, Acosta. Then in the middle, Cristian Cáceres Jr., the Toulouse player you're seeing every week here on beIN Sports. Tarasco Segovia, Andrade, Marquez, and Mendoza. The 4-3-3 of Venezuela. Argentina with a planned 4-3-1-2. We'll see if this actually executes as Contreras handles the ball with Dibu Martinez. In the back, Tagliafico, Senesi, Romero, Molina, Fernandez, Paredes, Lo Celso, Paz, Martinez, and Alvarez. Obviously, we will have a hard look at Marco Senesi, Giovanni Lo Celso, and Nico Paz as we see Scaloni. Very serious. He's a manager who doesn't want to take the foot off the pedal. He wants Argentina to keep going, to keep making team. He will insert some players as Senesi, as Lo Celso, as Paz. One of the ones we want to watch the most. We see him fairly often on beIN Sports. Jose Lopez from Palmeiras also getting the call up for these two games. Of course, there are several players you see here every week. Nicolas Tagliafico, of course, the Olympique Lyonnais player. See him every week here on beIN Sports. The recovery by Venezuela down the middle. Looking forward to Marquez. The pressure by Acosta all the way back to Dibu Martinez. Senesi playing it in the middle. Go a little forward, looking for Lo Celso. Pressure, at least in possession, by Acosta and Marquez. All the way up front. Opening to Tagliafico. Tagliafico try for the through ball. And it's going to be corner kick. The first of the evening for Argentina. Last touch by Ferraresi, the Sao Paulo player. Covering, obviously, the tall players. Header. Venezuela trying for the recovery, sliding tackle. It's going to be a throw in for Venezuela by Tarasco Segovia. Everyone knows the city very, very well. The Inter Miami player. Leaving the ball, as we also see on screen, Kevin Andrade, the Maccabi Tel Aviv player, young player, only 20 years of age. That is what we're seeing today in Venezuela, a lot of youth. And a lot of players that, of course, Osvaldo Vizcarrondo knows from his time managing the under-17 team in Venezuela. Trying for the cross. Let's go with throw Nico Paz. As we were saying, the Como player, young, 21 years of age. Now in his second season with Como for the former Real Madrid Castilla player. Played 35 games for Como last season. Has played 7 already. Half last season's tally of goals with 3 for Como versus 6 last season. For him, playing is only his 5th national team game. All of them have been in the Commonwealth World Cup qualifiers, not playing in this friendly match for Nico Paz. The throw-in by Argentina, the reception and the turn by Lautaro Martinez to send it back, and now the exit. From the back, Venezuela looks organized to a 4-4 as the touch comes from Fernandez. Opening to the right, back to Fernandez. Easy peasy for Argentina, tries to go all the other way. Looking on the right, the first dangerous opportunity. But Argentina, Lautaro, hands on his head. And here's the touch to the opposite side, and it was a good service by Nico Tagliafico. Look at this beautiful header. And almost the one-timer for Martinez had to let it bounce with Lautaro for the first big opportunity for the Albiceleste. Another corner kick, second of the evening for Argentina. First post. Bounce in the back by Mendoza. Segovia trying to recover, trying to keep possession. Didn't go out. Send it all the way back to Dibu Martinez. Tagliafico asking for calm. With him, Senesi. And they open through the middle. This is a 4-4-2 for Venezuela. Very on its spot, a little bit of pressure. Then from the back by Mendoza. Opening to the left. With Paredes. Tagliafico. Goes back once again with Senesi. But now in the center back playing for a spot in the World Cup. In the middle, Venezuela very close in this 4-4-2. Trying to keep no options. Tagliafico had to go back again. Interference intercepted by Telasco Segovia. Tries to keep possession and then in the back. Andrade with the save. Venezuela trying to build from the back. Tagliafico fighting for that one. Recovery by Christian Cáceres Jr. Opens to the left. And where we go, but look at how beautifully Argentina unfolds back. Gets their forward line in. And then allows the midfield to intercept and recover. Great job at the Argentina national team. Senesi at 28, getting the call up again. Good to see him. He's now playing his 4th season with Bournemouth. He was considered for the 2022 World Cup and 1 game only. For that, hadn't been called up since that cycle. He was playing for Feyenoord and was a key player for the Eredivisie team. Last season, Feyenoord, 50 games as they had a big campaign in Europe. Tagliafico up front. That possession kept and then going back by Argentina. Telasco Segovia almost interference. Tagliafico once again opens and it's going to be offside by Argentina. Lo Celso saying nope. I would love to see the replay. He was offside by 1 step. The Real Betis Balompié player can say whatever he wants. That's the replay of the one big chance. The serve by Tagliafico, the shot by Lautaro Martinez, the Inter Milan player. And the save in the back by Jose Contreras. The Barcelona from Guayaquil goalie. Picking it up from the back is Argentina with Paredes. And they go all the way to the left with Julian Alvarez. Julian goes back to Tagliafico. What a start of the season this has been for Julian Alvarez over Atleti. Difficult first couple of games, and then in form, he is one of the best players in the world right now. Tagliafico's there. Senesi opens. Tagliafico as Lo Celso. It's a little down. Went to the half-pitch line. To try and help them decide to go to the other side. Paredes is coming back to help the back line. With a 3-player exit, they go back to Dibu. Emiliano opens once again to Senesi. Lo Celso. Back to Paredes. They were exiting with 2, with only Senesi and Romero. Now, they are using Paredes in the middle. 4-3 on Tagliafico. Into the middle! Looking for Julian. Oh, the touch just a little bit behind. Julian Alvarez, but what a great play started by Giovanni Lo Celso. The Real Betis Balompié player. Second stint in the Sevilla team. He was there in 2018, 2019. Remember, Lo Celso becoming an international player after he started in Rosario with Paris Saint-Germain. That is the team that signed him. Saw potential, took him to Europe. We're seeing Kevin Andrade, the Maccabi Tel Aviv player. Once again exceeding with 2. Now Paredes coming back to help to make a 3-line in the back. Into the middle, still, Telasco Segovia. Tries to play forward with Andrade. Andrade looks for an opportunity all the way to the other side coverage. Getting there with Molina. Steal by Argentina. A little bit of a botched exit. Senesi keeps it and opens. Tonico Tagliafico, the Lione player. The one-on-one versus Andrade. Goes back to Senesi. Looks to Paredes and into the middle. Once again to Tagliafico. Slight pressure by Venezuela. They go all the way to the right, the sun side. Keeping the possession, options in the middle. The coulda, woulda, shoulda been the first of the evening with Giovanni Lo Celso. Once again, the replay. I think this would have been sent back. I do think this would have been sent back. What a mistake with Ferraresi, by the way. And the coverage. Lo Celso just, it's not a comfortable ball for him to hit after the Enzo Fernandez serve. I think Fernandez was offside. I think he would have been sent back. But once again, knocking on the door for Argentina. Tagliafico once again. It's a lot of patience versus a Venezuela side that just not parking the bus, but being very locked back and looking for the breakaway. Nice sliding tackle. And the back by Gleiker Mendoza. Playing in the Ukraine in Kripas for Mendoza. Tagliafico, it seems like almost every attack has gone through Tagliafico. Then it's going to have to play it all the way back. Going through the right. And moves it forward. Once again to the left. Tagliafico's an option. Being kept by Senesi. Now Tagliafico. Try to put it. Calls for a handball.